Let me say thank you to Brother Ricky and the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity for inviting me to speak to y'all. I'm honored to be a member of the fraternity, and I'm definitely honored to be speaking to you today. One of the themes, or the theme of it, is about making your life better. And obviously, you've seen people that have come on before me, regardless of the fact that I'm on television and I'm pretty much well known. The reality of the situation is that there's nothing brilliant about me. I work hard. I put my head down. I'm about my grind. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, because in light of what's going on with COVID-19 and what have you, there's a lot of obstacles that you might think are standing in front of your way or in your path. I would submit to you that it's the land of opportunity. And I'm not talking about America. I'm talking about who we are. I'm talking about who you are. I'm talking about us as a people, the intestinal fortitude that we possess, and the fact that we are accustomed to overcome any challenges. There are people that came on this conference, this 27th annual youth conference, and you're talking about people, like you said, JDs and lawyers and judges and, university presidents. The list goes on and on. Their accomplishments are to be revered. It's to be appreciated. It's to be respected. And we definitely need to do that to all of those brothers that came on before me. So I don't need to talk to you about the importance of education, because I think you know that. I don't think I need to talk to you about the importance of taking care of your health, because what wealth is there without health? I don't care how rich you are. I don't care how successful you are. If you don't have your health intact, it doesn't amount to much. So you got to prioritize taking care of yourself and doing what's best. But I want to emphasize to us as a people, to the mothers and the fathers out there, along with the kids, that regardless of the obstacles that we face, we have a history of overcoming the greatest obstacles. One of the things that I must confess actually makes me smirk at times is when I look at today's generation, today's world, and I'm not talking about Black people, I'm talking about America right now. And I see people in such an uproar, upset, and taken aback by the trials and tribulations that they suddenly have to endure. And it's like, my God, how can we get through this? Well, guess what? As Black people, we've been getting through it. We've been getting through it. Obstacles are not new to us. Challenges are not new to us. Odds that are considered odds that can't be defied are not new to us. And neither is the intestinal fortitude that we've consistently exhibited as a people to rise above any challenges that have been placed before us, making sure that we overcome, not only to survive and to sustain ourselves, but to prosper. It's what we do. And I think it's important to make sure that we resonate and we make sure we deliver and disseminate that kind of message, particularly to the young kids out there. Because when folks talk about how times are hard, when folks talk about how the obstacles are too great to overcome, I would ask the parents to think about the things that you've gone through in the past. I would ask the kids to study a little bit of your history and think about what your ancestors went through in the past. And I'm not going as far back as slavery. We can go back to civil rights. We can go from the 60s on up to the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, etc. We look at things going on in the world today and we're taken aback and we stand aghast and, oh my God, what all of this stuff is going on? What is this? Excuse me, we've seen it before. We've seen it before. And somehow, some way, we find a way to overcome. They've talked to me on many occasions, and people look at me. Well, let me tell you a little bit about myself. Long before ESPN ever came along, long before I was on national television and talking to over 50 million people a week and all of this other stuff, I was a kid from Hollis, Queens, New York City, that was in the fourth grade with a first grade reading level, who got left back, who was maligned and mocked and told I wasn't smart, that I was dumb. I went to high school and ultimately overcame dyslexia because I didn't know I had it at that particular time, because we grew up poor. It wasn't like I got examined and knew definitively that I had a learning disability. So I learned that a little bit later, after my mother and my sister and one of my best family friends taught me how to read. And then when I went to high school and I studied a trade, what happened? I had a guidance counselor, despite the fact that I was an honor roll student, literally laugh in my face because I said I was determined to go to college. Literally laughed at me. He said, "You can, what? You go to college? What are you talking about?" Along the way, you're going to have people that stand in your path and are there to deny you what is rightfully yours. You can't submit to it. You can't bow down to it. A matter of fact, you should be smirking in the back of your mind about the odds and the obstacles that you're going to overcome. Because whereas that person who is willing to be a roadblock and an impediment to your success would not have had the intestinal fortitude to overcome things, you will. You will. If you're committed to doing it. All the people, myself and everyone who spoke before me, can give you all the words of encouragement until the cows come home. If you are not prepared and committed to putting forth the due diligence, putting in the work, exercising a level of patience, understanding it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and that it's about the long haul. It's not about the day, it's not about tomorrow, but it's about the long haul and the foundation that you build and you need to build to propel you to new heights. If you're not committed to that, it won't matter. My voice and that of everyone who's spoken before me is all in vain. I went from getting left back as a fourth grader to graduating with honors from an HBCU. I went from graduating from an HBCU to generating in excess of $11.4 million, $11.4 million in scholarships for HBCU students over the last 2 years. That's just one of the things that I'm doing. I'm going to start a literacy foundation. I'm going to give back because that's what we do. That's what we do at Omega Psi Phi. That's what we're doing now. We give back. We reach back in an effort to pull those up who need assistance. But along the way, you got to be worth it. You got to be worth it. Because even though innately you already are, because you're one of God's children, you're a human being, you're not worth but so much if you don't believe in yourself, if you're willing to give up, if you're willing to quit, if you're not willing to work, if you're looking to get over, if you're looking to cut corners. That's not what we do. It's not what we do at Omega Psi Phi. It's not what we do as Black people. It's not what we do as brothers and sisters. We don't wilt beneath pressure. We rise up to it. We don't look for easy ways out to cut corners. We look forward to challenges. Because when we achieve, and I didn't say if, I said when we achieve, we know we will have earned it. And we will have earned something special because we didn't look for an easy way out in order to get to that point. That's what you have to remember. You want to talk about making your life better? Be committed to making your life better. Be committed to pushing out those who are negative, pushing out those who are anchors in your life, determined and hell-bent on keeping you down instead of looking to provide whatever level of assistance you may need to lift you up and propel you to new heights. Get those people out of your life that ain't worth a damn, that ain't thinking about helping you. And stick to people who are interested in your elevation. Because the people around you, combined with that kind of attitude that you innately have inside of yourself, is what's going to help you weather the storm, survive and sustain before you prosper. Because it's all about prospering. Don't ever forget that. Hold on to your loved ones. Hold on to the people that you love. You know who they are. You know who believes in you. You know who truly supports you. You know who truly wants you to do well. You know who's about you, not just about themselves. You want to make your life better? You start there. And that way, when you listen to all the speakers who have spoken before me, it'll make that much more sense for you. It'll be that much more fruitful for you. It will fulfill you in ways that you never imagined. It will inspire you. It will inspire you to march on and move forward. I thank y'all for y'all time. Once again, I'm honored that y'all had me here to speak to y'all. And I hope my words were at least somewhat encouraging. But remember, you can't be but so encouraging if you're not going to be real. And I hope you can appreciate my realness, because I meant every damn word I just said. Y'all take care. God bless. Be safe.